off. This will be our first live game of Group B.
It's to be a glorious TBT.
Oh boy. At least I know what's going on. Like I'll be able to identify the units. Have an understanding of why you build buildings. Unlike the other races, I'm like, what's that thingy?
It's purple and glowy.
It's glowy and purple. So here we are at Entombed Valley. We have two players who have both joined Group B after the deadline due to some extenuating circumstances. And in the bottom left are Green Terran, Pacheco. A little zoom in and out for great justice. There you go. Maybe I'll hit delete and turn it around. Yeah. There you go.
Green Terran?
Do I have this on?
I think you have team colors on, and that'd be very bad since Pacheco is actually red.
What? Oh. Yeah. Okay, team colors were on. But why am I showing Pacheco being green on my screen now? And Cartman being red?
Oh no.
Oh god. Well, put on team colors. Now Pacheco is the green Terran in the bottom left. And in the bottom right we have our red Terran Cartman. And that's how it's gonna be.
So Kenobi says, so it shall be.
My justice is swift, but it is fair. Because I am hard, you will not like me. But the more you hate me, the more you will learn. And looks like we have both players walling off. First scout set out by Cartman. He's going to be scouting close by ground, which I believe is a valid spawning point on this map. This is one of those 4-player maps where you can spawn at all 4 positions. Unless the stream starts screaming at me.
Nope. Oh, did you catch that split from Pacheco at the beginning?
No, I did not.
Super sour.
Oh. You gotta remember, there is a little bit of added pressure knowing that your game is being broadcast live. I mean, the millions and millions of people watching at home. Or by millions, I mean 14. Including your brother. Which I'm hoping for, a little brother-on-brother action here. His turbo time is right now involved in a little bit of a heavy school load. Otherwise, he would join with his brother, and we can see them face off for the first time. According to Pacheco, the two of them have never seen each other in StarCraft, which I find hard to believe, because if I had a brother and he was playing StarCraft, that'd be the first guy I'd want to take down.
Exactly.
But, and all the cool things we could say during that game too.
You were like a brother to me.
I loved you, Anakin. And the scout's gonna get some vision, which I'm gonna. Oh, I almost got it. Trying out my new skills I acquired from the Cube Man, holding the V button as in victory to show vision, clicking on the portrait to follow the unit. All sorts of things I should have known before I tried my hand at casting, but hey, this is America and I do what I want. So
when I click on the portrait, I have to hold the click button.
Yes, you do.
Keep following.
Left click and hold.
So hoping it would be like a double click and I could just take my hands off the keyboard.
Well, you can do that with Control F if you want to, or Control Shift F will follow.
Glorious.
It's glorious. So we see pretty much a we're gonna see a straight up 1-1-1 out of Cartman with double gas. We have a tech lab going on the factory, and if we don't see siege mode starting up any time now, I'm gonna assume he's gonna flip that starport, and we're gonna see some cloaked banshees. On the other hand, we have Pacheco going for the very fast expand off of 1 barracks.
1 racks expand versus possible banshees? Yes, it would seem that it is banshees.
Oh yeah. And he's just building a second tech lab. Looks like it's going to be marine tank with banshees, which is one of those things. It's actually a pretty underutilized strategy in late game. Oh, and the scan comes down where he's going to see everything. That was a very well-timed scan from Pacheco.
Oh,
he
yes.
is not going into this blind. We should be seeing an engineering bay, and there it is. I mean, the rule of thumb for at least when I play is 6 minutes. You want an engineering bay started, especially if you're going to be, and maybe a little earlier if you're close to air on a smaller map. he should be fine right here to start putting some turrets up and being ready. He has his Marines in position, and he's going to go for those kind of aggressively positioned turrets, which I don't know if I really like that or not. I mean, if he's going to build the true turret ring around his base, that's one thing, but there's a lot of space that he can navigate around these turrets. I mean, he will have to deal with his Marine force, but there is
I absolutely hate going Banshees and then walking into my opponent's base and it's just a ring of turrets.
Oh yeah. We don't even see Cloak out of Cartman right now, so unless he already trained it, oh no, it's good. So the first Banshee's out, he's running directly into turrets, and that Banshee's going down for free.
And there's the one possible upside to those aggressive turrets: a bad rally point.
It could be a bad rally. It wouldn't be a bad rally if he had killed 10 SCVs with it.
No, certainly not.
The going back to what I was saying a little earlier, if you get into those drawn out Marine tank fights with Viking support and this, that, and the other, there's a style out there that people have been using where they mix in a handful of Banshees with or without Cloak, and it's been doing some work against people who weren't ready for it, even in the professional level.
Yeah, the Banshees do some sick damage to immobile siege tanks.
Oh yeah, and if you can force Ravens and scans and everything else, and you're aware of your situation where you take out the detection and you keep them safe, you don't let them die unnecessarily, then they can be invaluable. I mean, I think any Terran who gets used to the Marine tank Viking with Banshee support build, we'll see their MMR just fly through the roof.
Yeah.
But it looks like Pacheco is going to be opting for more of a bio style. I mean, his factory right now is only being used to produce attachments, and he's going to be going up against a almost pure Marine tank out of Cartman. So we'll see right here. This is the battle of the two predominant styles. It's going to be Marine tank versus all bio. This is a very it can be viable to go bio versus mech, but I'd like to see him mix in some Marauders in here somewhere. But we'll see.
We shall see. In my experience, going all Marines against anything with tanks just doesn't end well for you.
You're going to lose a lot. I mean, that's something that's a reality of it. You're not going to be able to close the gap between the siege tank and from his range to the tank without losing a lot of Marines. But if your macro is strong and you're able to position well and get a flank off, or if you use the strategy of run something beefy up the ramp, let all the siege tanks hit it at once, and then run them behind it, and time it up where you're almost it's like jumping rope. You can get in there and do some damage, but it's just such a dangerous maneuver, and you're gonna lose a lot of units. But still, it can be done. It's just a matter of excellent positioning and situational awareness and everything. And
there's a 16 Marines going down in Cartman's base right now.
And there's the drop.
A whole lot of Marines
with combat shield and stim, and they almost got out of there.
And they all die.
They all die, but the turret is also down. So. And somehow 2 mules got picked up in that box. I don't know how they got there.
They wanted to fight too, I guess.
You can't blame them. Fighting is cool.
Plus those big saw arms. I mean, those got to do some damage.
Well, yeah, you'd expect something that has a huge clamp that can chew on rocks, like big blue diamonds, would be able to grab a Marine and just choke the shit out of them.
There's 2 more factories going down for Cartman. Looks like he's going heavy into siege tanks.
Yeah, I think he's realized that his opponent is going to go for that heavy bio army, and that he could basically build order win this if he makes sure he doesn't get himself out of position. Yeah, but Pacheco has a siege force of his own. He's starting to build siege tanks. He's going for his third. The timings are actually pretty similar. Cartman's going to be about a minute behind. But this is actually turned out to be a better matchup than I thought it was going to be, to be perfectly honest. Because I know Cartman's a very strong player. He's a real pain in the ass. Anytime I TBT versus him, it never ends with me being happy.
I like Pacheco's 1 Marine with 9 HP on patrol.
Oh, he's patrolling hard.
Maybe the medevac will heal him? No healing for you.
But he's loading up another drop. We'll see where this one goes off. I mean, there is maybe he won't completely kill him with an 8 Marine drop, but taking out a couple tech labs, maybe a handful of SCVs, you know, force him to unsiege his tank someplace else. There's a lot of good things that can come of little drops here and there. Plus, it's frustrating as hell when you're constantly moving your army around trying to defend against drops. Meanwhile, you're like, alright, I'm trying to do everything right, but now I gotta move everyone over here so they don't die, and I gotta move all these guys over here so they don't die. And there we have it. And this time, nice. This medevac is gonna get away. Very nice by Pacheco. Taking out a handful of I picked up 3 worker kills. Really didn't,
free?
Excuse me?
Hey, 3 worker kills for free. I'll take that any day.
Oh, yeah. And now it looks like he's going to pick off a couple more that are building these barracks. Which will also slow down the barrack production. Maybe he'll even force a cancel if he doesn't get over here fast enough. And that one's actually just going to go down.
No reaction.
Absolutely no reaction.
Oh, he's dealing with another drop in his 3rd. That's why.
Oh, wow. This is excellent drop play from Pacheco. Good enough that I'll miss half of it.
So good the casters don't even see it.
Oh yeah. And now Cartman's mixing in the Vikings. I mean, if he forces his entire army out for these 8 Marines, and now we have the classic standoff, and he's gonna move half of his army out, putting on a move command. And he is gonna take a lot of damage from these siege tanks before they even get in position. And his Marines are right on top of him, so they aren't going anywhere. And the last 2 have fallen.
Nice scan.
Excellent play by Pacheco. I mean, he caught Cartman in a situation that I don't even think he knew he was in. He was just moving his troops out to the middle. And didn't realize they were going to split halfway. And that's just one of those pathing issues that come up from time to time that are so frustrating and so hard to be ready for unless you're looking right at them. You know?
Oh yeah. And it looks like Cartman's in a tough position now. He's got 4 siege tanks in front of his base and a number of Marines.
Now Pacheco does not have vision until these Marines get up top. If he can just hold vision, then he'll be in great shape. That's all he has to do right there. Those Marines right now are just eyeballs.
It's covering the ramp with Marines.
This 3rd's going to have to be lifted off. He may even... It's already on fire. I mean, Cartman could lose this command center. I mean, these Marines, if they come any closer, are probably going to get wasted by these siege tanks, but that's a lot of damage done right there.
Oh, yeah.
And like most TBTs...
SCVs can repair things that are floating in the air.
Oh, yeah. They got reach. They got ups.
Jetpacks.
I just heard some units getting loaded up, and some of these SCVs are going to die for free down here at the 3rd. Looks like Cartman's been able to clean that up and reestablish his 3rd. But Pacheco is just in a really scary spot. I mean, anytime he has a sense that there's somebody down there, he's just going to scan and start taking them out. And this is the classic TBT standoff right here.
So classic. But Pacheco's reinforcing. He's not going to let that 3rd sit there while he builds up his 3rd and his 4th.
Oh yeah, this is really... I'm getting an echo. Yeah. This is not where you want to be as Cartman.
No, definitely not.
And what's amazing about this is that he does not have air superiority. There are Vikings on the field. I mean, he could easily take out this this medevac, or both these medevacs that are picking up and dropping in the 3rd.
What he needs to do is just get 1 or 2 Banshees out. Take back, because all the Marines are currently engaged in a drop. He could come through with a Banshee and deal with all of those siege tanks.
He just forced the unsiege of all of his tanks.
Oh! Picks back up right as soon as the siege tanks finish sieging.
He's gonna lose. He's gonna lose that drop.
Only to be taken out by 2.
Retroactively by the Vikings, but they're gonna lose them as well. I mean, this is really smart, exciting play from our newest player, Pacheco. I am really enjoying this. I hate playing it, but I'll watch it every day of the week.
And now that they've Cartman stabilized a little, the supplies are pretty even, and the units are pretty even. In fact, Cartman's ahead in siege tanks and marines. Who are just gonna walk into it.
He is going to be able to finally break this position. Those siege tanks are just going to die for free.
As soon as they unsiege.
That's exactly what happens, though. You hear that siege, that sound, and it's over.
2 marines left.
And they aren't going to stop. They're going to get something. That's good use of his units right there. He's like, you know what? I got 2 marines left. I can kill something with these. But at this point, Cartman is just now starting to get some SCVs over on his 3rd, while Pacheco is fully saturated his 3rd. Actually, is somewhat oversaturated his 3rd, and his 4th is now up. This is just textbook TVT.
Oh yeah, and Cartman's got the SCVs ready to saturate the rest of his 3rd and a 4th.
We're going to see another big engagement. I mean, Cartman has a huge lead in tanks, but is that going to be enough? Looks like the answer to that is yes. Yes, it is enough, but he can't stop him from setting up right outside of siege range. So now it comes down to positioning. Can he get some siege tanks up in the 3rd? I mean, if he had a single siege tank over on the high ground, this would be a very different game, but he's opted to try to push him across the low ground.
Pacheco does have medevacs. He could get vision with those fairly easily.
Oh, he could get vision with him for sure, but if he established a position where Pacheco is now doing a drop, I mean, this command center is if he doesn't start repairing it almost now, it's gone. There it goes. And he's going to lose a ton of SCVs in the mix too. This is only going to get worse for Cartman if he can't find a way to keep Pacheco off his front door.
Looks like during that drop, Cartman moved up into the siege line and took out all but 1 siege tank, which is heavily damaged.
I mean, there was just a lot of carnage on this. I mean, but the problem for Cartman is, yeah, he's holding. He's not in a terrible way right now. But what he doesn't realize is that he's been held at his base all this time, and I mean, he's dealing with a guy who's taking every base on the map. So it's either break this position and start expanding, or expand while you're holding yourself back. You know. And now the supply lead is strongly in Pacheco's favor, with only a handful of bio units and just a couple of tanks. This is Pacheco cranking 3 tanks at a time right now, 10 Marines. He's just about done with Terran Vehicle Weapons 3.
He's at the moment he's quadrupling Cartman's income.
That is just, this is how you win a TVT, and now we are lagging because Kill Greedy's computer stinks on ice, and we're back.
Oh. I didn't even realize we were lagging because I'm just looking at a siege tank line.
No, they are very stationary, but they weren't that stationary. So Cartman's finally going to go over, try to establish his 4th, but Pacheco is all over him with this drop. He's got Marines dropping as the command center lands. This is just relentless pressure. He is going to say, you know, oh, and he's taking he's taking his 5th directly in front where this battle's going on.
Oh, and he drops a mule to repair, but it's not enough.
And that's why you take out the rocks before you bring your Marines in, or before you bring your command center in. Here comes a big stem. He's splitting his units. He's coming in. Will this be enough? This may be the nail in the coffin for Cartman. And there's the GG.
And it is.